I'm talking. Can you hear me? So you can't hear me? People can hear me? Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to mute it here in a little bit here because I have family getting up and heading out the door here for ice skating practice here. But yeah, I'm in California, so it's pretty early. This is what I use for natural gas, and I trade on the 3 minute. And this is my long signal, and I don't usually start taking the trades till about now, and but it's usually pretty good anytime after 3 or 4 in the morning. It's So what's been happening lately here is the European market has been pushing down the price overnight, and it's been holding. And we're waiting for this pattern to break, but if you're just day trading it, which I have a long position for swing, but you take this trade here long, and then I'm just going to just grind it up and see right here. This is the VWAP line. This is black. This is standard in any chart, and it touched the 2 deviations away. It likes to come back to VWAP, and so this is a high probability trade. And you know, when you take these trades, every penny's $100. So I try to make $400 day trading. And so you take the trade. Once you get 50 cents or $50 in, or this is right here, the 1 deviation, you get ready to close this trade. You may push it back down because it's still making lower lows and lower highs, and so you'd be quick to take the profit here. And then what I'm looking for now is for this to be the bottom, and for the next buy signal to be the trade to VWAP. And so right now I wouldn't take a short here because the probabilities tell me it's going to try to get the VWAP here. Does that make sense? And so that's kind of what I'm looking at on the natural gas side here. And then I'll pull out to the 15-minute too. And even the 15 minutes is still a little shaky. I trade on the 3 minute or 15-minute. So these light green arrows and these light red arrows are just pretty much saying that the move this direction was getting too the move was getting overdone. I don't always take this trade, but you can. But it's just telling me that, hey, this move was way overdone. There's going to be a reversal here. And so I take that trade as well. But the moving average is so steep that it needs to start flattening out here if you're looking to take a swing trade on it. So there's nothing here that says go ahead and buy this on a swing. There's just a money flow here, and even the money flow right now is still, this is oversold but inconclusive. So that's that. I'm gonna flip over to it's hard to predict. I look at the 60-minute to kind of give me a temperature change. And so last night when I was heading to bed, it gave a buy signal, but then overnight it was giving sell signals again. But this right here, this purple line that you see here, this small one, this is also a volatility deviation line. So this should be support for the day, but we'll see. It can come all the way down to here and still not violate the monthly move in natural gas. But this is telling me that this is probably good support for the day. And then I'll go back to the 3 minute. and right here too. So the hourly and the in the daily are saying that, you know, there's a possibility that this thing can get all the way down to the 3 minute here, and then but if it crosses back over this area here, VWAP in the purple, then when you look at futures, this line here and this line here is where 70% of the volume transactions happened, and this would by right you should be in here. So it's telling me that it's been pushed down pretty hard overnight, low volume. So I'm looking for it to go here, then to go here, and then come into this area here. So I'm looking for it to come back, and I call it a crazy Ivan, have that move come right back into the overnight high. And then this should cap the action for the day if it gets wildly bullish. Okay. So that's what I'm looking at on the natural gas side. And then we have on the future side, I like to trade Litecoin's my favorite to trade, and I put a trade on yesterday, and it's on the 15, or is this on the hourly here? You have 15 minute. So when I do trade it, this is linear regression lines here and here. This is the center line, and then we have our crypto money machine signal here. And so what it's doing right now is it came up here, and I sold out yesterday here across some volume area after it moved up on this move here, and then right now it's consolidating across the linear regression line, and at some point today it'll come into here, and once it does that, then I'll be looking for a buy signal to take a day trade on Litecoin. So if that makes sense. And you zoom out here, you can get a better picture. But if it cracks this area here again, you know, this 104 area here is the is big resistance. It did a quick thing overnight, not overnight, over the weekend to 108. Just like a little poke out here, and it broke out of this channel. It broke out of this channel, came back in, came down to here. You could do this on longer swings too. And but my expectation is this is what's called consolidating at the highs, is that there's no real selling. These are just profit takers, and I'm expecting this to come back up and over, and once it gets that, it's going to go to 115 to 130 area. So that's kind of what I look at here. And if anybody has any questions, I'm going to leave this thing running while I get myself ready, and I'm gonna put on mute, and I'm gonna put it back onto the futures for natural gas, and then I'll be in and out all day with this. So you can see how it did that. Came up to here. Just take your profit. You don't have to wait for a sell signal. You know, just look for the obvious support resistance areas. And this is this moving average to me is more just a visual than I use for anything else. Yeah, Phil follows most of the cryptos, so I'll defer to him. So you can ask him that question on the video that he did. You know, I focus more on the future side. I just understand it, and I'm a believer in it, and I like to trade the bigger coins, you know, while I'm stacking long term. So you know, for gold, I think they're waiting for the Yellen meeting, and they've just been suppressing it pretty hard. I've been waiting for that too. My my plan was, and still is, to take advantage of a nice push in natural gas, and then once the natural gas move happened, is then to shift my attention to gold and the miners after the last Yellen Fed meeting, because I think they're going to get dovish, and I think that's going to provide a good opportunity for us. Yeah, Phil's my partner, and so he runs the crypto trading room, and he and I have traded together for many years, and he's he trades binary options and cryptos, and so he was a nice addition to what I was doing on the ETF and future side, and so we started collaborating, and then we decided, hey, let's just do this together, and so that's what handles it. So when you see the videos, Phil does most of the crypto videos, the in-depth ones. Phil's been mining cryptocurrency since 2011. He's really, really, really good. He's really well read. He understands this better than anybody that I've ever met, and he also knows how to trade, which is a great advantage. A lot of these people, may understand cryptocurrencies, but they don't know how to trade, and so Phil knows how to put himself and others in a position to either add more, or it takes them off the top, or when it's time just to hold and sit. And so he does a really, really good job. Not yen higher, yen higher if gold goes up. So they've been using the yen to suppress gold, and they're using volatility to suppress gold, and they've been shorting the bonds to suppress gold. So when those trades unwind, gold has nowhere to go but up. And if we look here, so yeah. Okay, hold on a second. It's locked up on me here for a sec. I have too many things open. There we go. So right now, looking at gold, I'll go out to the daily on this. See, gold is kind of neutral at the moment. It's not being pushed down. It's not being pushed higher. And so it's sitting right on the VWAP. So from a trading standpoint, the good news is that they're not able to sell it off. The bad news is every time it tries to take a run, they push it right back. So depending on how much you want to scalp, it's doing a slow grind, which is interesting to me. And then they just beat up the yen from pushing it higher, and so I think the yen probably, and we got momentum rolling over here. So if the yen pushes down, it's going to put pressure on gold. So I'm looking for maybe then to even try to test this low right here. And if they do that, gold will get obliterated. So we just got to see how they handle the meeting, and see if gold starts turning up higher. But right now, it hit the VWAP and it came back down. It needs to start taking a sustained move higher again. Oh, yeah. Banks don't care. They're all in collusion. The banks and the government. I would never worry about. They're being told to do this because if they can't do it, then the government can't fund their deficits. So it just, you get agitated for no reason. So yeah, VXX, you know, just one thing I've learned is don't go long VXX. All right, look, and I've been trading. I started my trading actually, and Trade Genius is my second service. I rolled my first service into Trade Genius, so I was running a stock signal since 2011, and I actually wrote a book. It's pretty outdated now because they changed the whole way they handle volatility now. But you used to be able to day trade XIV and VXX. Now it's just this absolute grind down, and so it's kind of foolish to try to take this thing long. There's other ways in which you could trade the short side, and it won't be volatility. You know, is always good to short it. I mean, if you just look at this, I'll show you a weekly chart too. Okay, I mean, just look at that. I mean, this goes back even before the manipulations. This thing started trading in 2011. Okay, it's never ever been profitable to take volatility long. It wasn't designed that way. So what you do is you look for these overbought moves, and you just short them. And the way I short them is just buy some UVXY puts when it happens. And typically 2 times a year you get a big thrust higher in volatility, and then usually you can make your month's worth of trading income by buying UVXY puts. And then usually once a month there's a small trade in there where you can make a couple days worth of income. But the key is to be patient, and if you're not, then you know, sometimes I'm early, then you have to sit on your hands for a couple days. The most and the longest I've seen volatility higher is like 2 weeks. So the fever usually breaks in 2 weeks, and the reason being is it's the purpose of it is to provide short-term hedging protection against positions. So either people think the reason to being short the market is over, or they've liquidated their position, they don't need the insurance anymore. So that's kind of my rule on that. And whenever it shows up, I always take it. And it's such a good, it's the best trade you can do when it sets up. But the problem now is that it's kind of, everybody kind of found out about it. So hold on a second here. So everybody's figured out let me set this back up here. So everybody's figured it out, and so now you just have to be a little quicker. See, when it comes up and touches VWAP, is a good trade right here. Now you can say, "Oh, I'll just keep it short on puts," but what happens is the premiums, you know, start getting higher. You just can't really make the money, so you have to catch it right when these things roll over. See, like right here or right here, and then you can make some quick money on it. Okay, and same works for UVXY. No, that's good to know. You know, it's more and more people are taking Bitcoin and Litecoin, so that'd be ironic. You know, that you take you could sell your gold for Bitcoin, then you know it's arrived. But my view is that cryptocurrency is a tool, just like gold and silver is a tool for stepping off the banker's wild ride. So Alright, so now this is it. We got another blue arrow, and we crossed back over the 1 standard deviation lower. Now we have the move here to VWAP. So I wouldn't be surprised to see this thing come up before the market opens in the next 25 minutes. The regular market opens for it to take a touch on this. Now once it does this, then not sure what's going to happen. My guess is that we're going to keep pushing higher. But so that's just what we're watching. But the market is saying we're still below VWAP, and you got to respect down moves from there. But it's going to try to touch this before the market opens, is my guess. And then after 6:30, we'll see what they really do with the market. You know, if they're going to push it up higher or not. Yeah, I mean, we put a special on for the, you know, we tried to design everything. We think it's pretty good value what we offered. We don't want to make things expensive. We want a lot of people to participate. So we actually combined the Crypto Money Machine software with the trading room. And the trading room itself is worth every penny you pay, because there's a lot of really, really good traders in there. There's 4 or 5 guys that have been trading with us, stocks and binaries and now cryptos for, you know, 6 or 7 years. And these guys are really, really smart. And there's a few guys in there that are, they probably won't tell you this, but they're definitely crypto millionaires, and really, really smart guys. And they're willingly give out advice for people who are trying to figure out what the heck to do. And so you can ask a question, hey, what about IOTA? I don't follow IOTA. I just seen that it really made a big move. You know, there's a lot of people talking about it being better than Litecoin or Bitcoin or whatever. But those guys in the room have spent a lot of time with it, and they'll give you their opinion, whether it's a trade or whether it's a hold. Hey, I'm gonna throw this on mute here for a little bit. I'm gonna get myself ready to do some actual trading myself. So I don't know if this was helpful. I'll throw this thing back on again around about 8:30 my time. Do you guys have any questions beforehand? Yeah, Lance. I'm keeping the video down, audio down right now, because I have people coming and going behind me.